He stands surrounded by corpses. And before Sir Ornier, the one responsible, a warrior of Hoikade, possessed of such malice and will that even he can sense it. His sword hand trembles, and he can do naught to still it. For one man to do this, to fell so many squinking, and with barely a scratch to show for it. And now, he has his eyes locked on them. The group now travels with this exceptional chaperone. Their destination, the Midnight Shrine. It is no longer clear whether they travel of their own volition or through a forced threat. But one thing is certain. They can't stop anymore.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Path of the Midnight Sun. Yeah, so we're not fighting him, Sai, right now. He's just acting as our chaperone. I feel like it's a sort of a hostage situation. I mean, we don't know what Sai is going to do. Is he going to kill us, or is he going to go along with the Midnight Shrine? Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Oh boy, help us. We're gonna die, aren't we? Without a doubt, this is awkward. Now, let me get this straight. You're not opposing us, are you?
You live. For now.
How many times do I have to repeat myself? I have no intention of causing you any harm for the moment. Well, excuse me if the first thing you said when we met was that you were going to dispose of us. Those are indeed my true feelings and my intentions. But unlike you, however, I never defied the Queen's orders. He doesn't seem to be lying, Faratras. He isn't? Well, alright. I trust you, Shiori. But that raises even more questions. Indeed it does. How can this blind girl read my emotions so easily? It's none of your business. Did you hear that, buddy? We ain't telling you anything about her power. The fact that you're talking about a particular power and have not denied my words gives me all the information I need. We fell for that. That's curious, though. Queen Mooney suggested that the Demon King had the power to read one's emotions. What?
I'm not sure about that.
Don't feel ridiculous. It must be another one of the Queen's misconceptions. Unless you really believe Shiori has something to do with the demon.
For the Queen.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't believe in anything anymore, aside from the Queen. Until the other day, I didn't even consider it possible that our beloved princess could kill our soldiers in cold blood. I never wanted that either. It was a misunderstanding from the beginning. We can't be sure of that. Even now, who assures us it's the vassal who's talking? I can testify to that.
I'm Sir Ornier.
Commander Sai, greetings. I'm Captain Ornier of the Holy Swords of Pilum. Yes, I've caught that. And what exactly do you want? Over the past few weeks, I've accompanied Lady Faratras while keeping a constant eye on her. I'd safely assume that she is not possessed by the demon. Suzaku. As I said earlier, in this situation I will not believe anything. Your mind could be controlled as well. It's no use, Nini. His will is unshakable right now. You should listen to the blind girl, for she understands me better than anyone I see. Consider yourselves lucky that my orders are not to kill you here on the spot. And what would your orders be? Queen Mooney has hopes that the vassal's seal can be redone at the nearby shrine. That way, we won't have any reason to doubt Lady Faratras anymore.
Queen Mooney wants to help me redo the seal. I understand. Then so be it.
Hey, wait. Are we sure about this?
Yes, I'll let Commander Sai accompany us to the shrine. We were going there anyway.
You were? Ha! Then talk about coincidences. Wait, Faratras! This must be some sort of trick. Don't tell me you believe the Queen's words.
Helios, please. As long as we share the same goal, there's no reason to refuse their offer.
Now that I notice it, why do you also have red eyes, Knight? You've no reason to know, so please, don't ask me again. Ah, so many mysteries in this group.
Faratras, I support Helios' stance. I'd invite you to think twice about it, please. Thank you for your concern, but I've already decided. And what else can we do? Need I remind you that Sai is the strongest soldier in my country?
Even someone blessed by Lord Valonia like me would never dare challenge that man. But I'm not going to forgive you for causing our group all this unnecessary stress, so you better watch your back.
Christoph, please, stop. We're in the same group now, okay? So let's try to get along. My time is running out as well, so let's not waste any more of it.
Understood. We can camp a little further on and review our formation. It's not far from the forest where the Midnight Shrine is located, but I'm afraid it will be surrounded by monsters. We'll have to be ready.
No objections here. Let's go.
Oh my god. I don't know how I feel about this. A temp adjutant. This is raising so many red flags, and the stupid thing is, we can't do anything about it. And Sai is very good at collecting information, clearly, because he just needs to hear us skirt around the issue, and it's like, okay, we got our information. Hey. Oh, sorry, no, that's Faratras.
Hey, where did you disappear to? How come you only come out when it's dinner time? The end of our journey is near. I can feel it. This may be the last opportunity I have to address certain topics with my comrades.
Great! Are we really at the end of the game? Kind of odd to end at 9 chapters. I would have expected a little bit more, but then again, you never know. Pet Lucas.
Of course you just love it when I am the one giving you attention.
We'll do this later. Oh god. I should have paid attention to when I start. Oh god. 10 minutes of exposition. That's a lot of that's actually a lot of exposition. Jesus. Pietro. Oh god, I should not have done that. My bad.
Pietro, your food has always sustained us during our travels. You have my gratitude.
Hey, you're talking like this the last time you'll be eating here. Come on, Vassal.
You're right. I'm quite used to your food by now. So what do you have in store today?
Only the best dishes for our dear Vassal. Prepare something for me, because I know my group is... Oh, we can make spaghetti. Now I know how to make it. Except I don't have much wheat, so never mind. Veggie pizza. People forgotten by God put pineapple on it. To be fair, I already don't like pineapple, so I don't care too much. Oh, that's hilarious. So we can make pixie incense, except we don't have pixie dust. Har har har. God dang. We can't make the simple stuff anymore, which is kind of unfortunate. Yeah, please go away. I want to buy some food. I can actually buy these things. Oh, okay, that's fine. I know she likes seafood, so crab soup, please. Let me see here. Ugh. Dairies. 2 milks. If I remember correctly, you two like your meats. I think 2 people like their salads as well. There we go. So that should be fine now. So now we can feed our people. Have them stuff their faces. I'm fine like this. Thank you so much. Bye! Please hurry up with the bye!
Roderick, I wanted to thank you for your service.
It's not like you to be so formal, milady. It's the anxiety of the final battle getting to you.
You may well be right. But let's not indulge any longer. Show me your wares.
I don't ask for any better. An epic battle like this requires merchandise to match, right? Now, behold, feast your eyes on my selection. Just say the word, milady. You. Forge equipment. What can I possibly forge? I can actually forge these. There's where the venom lies, but it takes copper. It takes all my copper. That's kind of unfortunate. Ha ha ha! Half the chance of being blinded, half the chance of being poisoned, which is actually very helpful. I already have an imbue monodrop. All these things are what I already have. Except not on everyone, because I am a cheap-ass person. What's in the shop today, by chance? Oh my god. Enhances crit. Well, it gives you another minor regen, that's fine. A lethal sword. Yeah, that'll definitely be good. Lethal bow. That'll be good, yep. Lethal axe. Mithril. Except I don't have the, We're fine. We're fine. I'm being the cheap ass here. Okay, maybe I'll screen buy it. I don't know, okay? I'm still thinking about it. But so far everything's been fine. Anyway, Ria. Oh god, where's my mouse? There we go.
Ria, I wanted to talk to you.
Go ahead, Faratras.
It's just that, well, I thought that this could be our last battle. If your seal is fully restored, I would say so, yes. We won't have to face any more battles. And we'll also be able to intercede with Queen Mooney by showing her that you are no longer a danger. I'm aware of these consequences. Other than that, though, what I was thinking was... Well, we'll go back to our regular lives, right?
I assume so. We both know that the duties of us royalty are pretty pressing.
Won't we have time to hang out again? I wouldn't mind your company, you know.
Look, if you're saying this because of what happened the other day in Lasley's...
How could I forget the warmth of your hand? My heart was throbbing. And also... I consider you more than a friend.
That's... quite unexpected. I didn't think you felt that way towards me, Faratras. Although I should have known from the way you were looking at me the other day when I got hurt.
That day was terrible. I was worried for you, but I had to prioritize my mission, and yet... I was so afraid of losing the one who believed in me from the beginning.
Faratras.
There she is, losing her austerity again. She looks even prettier this way.
Huh. I didn't know that the vassal could have feelings for a woman. Is that a problem?
No. No, it isn't. I'm just a bit surprised, that's all. And I reciprocate your feelings, by the way. Then, when all this is over, would you like to spend some time together? I know a few special places in Hoikade I'd like to show you. I'd gladly be your guest, and I'm looking forward to our time together. The thought of these serene times ahead gives me the strength to face today's challenges.
Oh, was I just choosing who Faratras was gonna romance with? Well, you know, to be perfectly fair, if I did accidentally choose someone to romance, I would prefer Rhea and Faratras. It's like, throughout the story, it feels very organic and believable. Not like trying to go with, for example, maybe, what's the Faratras? Going with Onier? That feels more like begrudging friendship turned into actual friendship than, you know, actual relationship.
I can't help but disagreeing with you. Ugh. I can't help but disagreeing with one of the things you said, though. I didn't believe you from the beginning. You say that, but in the end you didn't execute me on the spot, did you? You even took me to Empress Phoebe. Whatever my reasons are, it's none of your business. I'm just saying that traveling with you hasn't been all so terrible. So, to answer your question, it is extremely logical that we continue to see each other and support the relationship between our two countries. Extremely logical. Yes, I guess. That's all, huh? Fine, you win. I, Princess Rhea of Magnolia, enjoy your company, Lady Faratras of Hecate, fourth vassal of the Demon King. There, I said it out loud. Are you happy now? Far more than you can imagine. Really, you're going to make me the laughingstock of all of Magnolia. Anyway, I'm a little busy now, so if you'll excuse me. Oh, that's so cute, though. What was that? And I enjoy your company too, Rhea.
Can I talk to anyone else? Okay, so I think it's just with everyone. Are we gonna be like two-timing Faratras or something? I hope not. We've come a long way together.
Yeah, it doesn't even seem real to me that we met in that forest weeks ago. By the way, you always said you were keeping an eye on me. May I know why now?
Sure. Not that it particularly matters at this point anyway. We feared that you might be in league with Amaranth.
With Amaranth? That bunch of thugs using the mana scourge for their own gain? That's a good one. So, you think I'm somehow connected to Amaranth?
I don't think so. In fact, when we were at Garleon's fort, I noticed that the cult had more connections to me than you.
They were connected to you? How so?
Because the demonic
Are you alright?
Yes. They're just visions that I frequently have since I've lost my memory. They've been absent of late, especially since we've entered Lazarus, but as we draw nearer to the Midnight Shrine...
I wonder if this is somehow related to the power of the Demon King. The influence of the Mana Scourge here is immense.
Are you worried for me? You don't need to make that face, Faratras. I'll be fine.
It's Lady Faratras to you.
Yeah, right. Lady Faratras. Since everyone in the group now just calls you Faratras, all this formality makes me special, right?
You can undoubtedly see it that way. With you, it's natural for me to poke and prod. I feel like this trip would have been a lot more tiring without your presence. Perhaps I just said something embarrassing.
If you see it that way, then when this is all over, would you like to get to know each other better? Oh dear. Ew. Oh, I'm interested. I can see it being as friends as opposed to being like, hey, want to get smoochy smoochy? That's Savoria. But I feel like I might be... I feel like the way some of these responses are... I'm interested as in interesting to know you platonically, not romantically. Wait, are you really? I'm surprised.
Hey, do I really look that disinterested?
Yes. I mean, no. Maybe. Well, I mean, it's just... Well, you're always so focused on your duties. I didn't realize you had room for anything else in your life.
I said I'm interested, and I don't see any harm in wanting to spend more time together. So, I'll seriously think about it. I'll try to make room between my vassal duties to hang out with you, I guess.
I guess you couldn't resist this amnesia captain's charm.
Hey, cut that out now. I don't mind Rhea either, but I haven't made my feelings clear yet. I can give him a chance.
That's fair. I did say I like you a lot as a friend, or more as a friend, or whatever. So that's fair. Can I take that as a yes?
I don't go back on my word. But don't get ahead of yourself. We're just hanging out. If you end up being a waste of my time, I can do without you. You have any objections?
Not at all. It's actually more than I expected, Lady Faratras.
Hey, are you making fun of my nobility now? You have courage. For a commoner.
My sincerest apologies, Your Highness. Please, forgive this poor commoner's lack of manners.
It's been a while since I've exercised my punching techniques. Thanks for the opportunity. What's going on now? Has the excitement gone to your brain? Don't tell me you really are into this kind of obscene behavior.
You're right on your money. Just kidding. No. This amnesiac was just thinking that it would be a shame if you forgot about your beautiful smile.
Right. That was smooth, I guess. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't forget me even with 10 bouts of amnesia. Besides, I would love to help you as much as I can with your memories. Oikade is one of the most advanced nations on all of Alvium in any area of research. I'm sure our scholars may find a solution to your problem. And as for your concerns about Amaran, I will take care of eradicating that cult myself, rest assured.
When you say it with all that conviction, I can't help but believe you. Thank you, really.
It's my pleasure. As the vassal and as a person, I won't abandon those precious to me.
I know you won't. I know. Sanity up. I was kinda hoping for mana gen, but that's fine. Well, shall we get going? We have a seal to redo. Our future plans can wait.
Since when are you the leader here? I'll put you in your place, mark my words.
I'm looking forward to it, Lady Faratras.
Oh, come on now, just stop it.
I was kinda hoping for mana gen, but that's fine. Hey, Helios! We're doing a lot of talking here, a lot of exposition. You look thoughtful, Faratras.
Oh, brother, it's you.
You're not usually given to walking back and forth in front of my tent. Is something bothering you?
Actually, I was just reflecting on what will happen next.
You mean after we restore your seal?
Yes, exactly. I guess we'll go back to Hoikare once we're able to prove that the seal is intact and that I wasn't possessed. I just hope Mother will take my word for it this time.
Commander Sai's presence bodes well for Hoikare's intentions, at least.
Yeah, and knowing that you'll be by my side at the moment of truth, I have to admit it gives me courage.
Really? How come?
Helios has always fought for me since we met. He saved my life on countless occasions. I left on my own, fleeing like an outcast, and I will return with the support of friends, and a brother I never knew I had. This, to me, is already a victory worth telling.
How curious. I've always considered you the center of my world, and I've always known about you since you were born. But I didn't think that I, a brother unknown to you for so many years, could be of any importance in your life.
Well, you're very important indeed.
I am immensely pleased to hear that.
It's just that, well, despite how I may feel about our relationship, it is true that I know very little about you.
I understand. You have every reason to feel that way, so please, feel free to ask me anything. We may not have another occasion like this for a while.
Well, now that I think about it, after my seal is restored, I won't have much time to chat like this with my brother. I'm grateful for times like this, for as long as they may last. So then. What do you think about Hoikade?
About Hoikade? That's an interesting question. On the one hand, it's a country I was born into, but on the other, I have known nothing of Hoikade but an underground room.
I'm always sorry to hear about the brutal conditions you lived in. Those who kept you in prison like that are awful people.
It's just one person, actually, and you know her well. But yes, I do agree.
So Mooney, right? I'll have to question her about that too once I get back. You never got to enjoy the typical Hoikadian culture. I assume you're not very nationalistic.
You assume right. I've had a good education, yes, but it's one thing to read about our customs in books. It's another to experience them. I can't say that I perceive Hoikade as my land because I've never lived there, if you know what I mean.
I do. And, dear brother, I hope I can introduce you to the beauty of Hoikade for the first time then.
I'd be happy to.
We seem to have a plan for the future at least. What can I ask him next? Do you have any dreams?
Dreams? Now that's something I haven't thought about in a long time.
This implies that you have had dreams, at least in the past.
Of course, I've always dreamed of being able to breathe the air of freedom, but even before that... Yes, when I was younger, I simply wished to discover a way to help people.
Helping people? That's a little vague, but all in all, we're similar then. On second thought, maybe not. I ended up hurting those I sworn to protect.
No, you're right. We are similar, and it's tragic that you were faced with such tough choices to make.
Those are choices filled with meaning, if they will lead to world peace. I may not be forgiven for my sins, but I will be satisfied regardless.
We're going to shake the same burden, then.
Does he mean he'll offer me his support? He can be really enigmatic sometimes. But I'm glad to know that he has such lofty dreams too. Anything else I could ask of him? Have you ever been in love?
I've been in prison for so long. Do you think I'd have had time to fall in love with someone?
I could have chosen my words better. Let me try again. Have you ever thought about love?
Is there a particular reason you're asking?
You seem so defensive. I think I hit a nerve there. I'm just curious to learn more about my brother's feelings. It's just some small talk.
Of course. I understand. Alright, I'll answer your question. I think that love is a wonderful force of nature, but also a terrible double-edged sword.
That's a pretty pessimistic view, don't you think?
You think? For me, the idea of losing someone you love would be unbearable. Life would lose all meaning without that person.
You talking about me? He must be too shy to admit he's afraid of losing his little sister. Don't worry. I'm sure that person will love you forever.
Thank you, Faratras.
Anyway, that's enough for now. I really enjoyed talking to my brother. I found out so many unexpected sides to him.
Something on your mind?
Nothing in particular, it's It's just I hope we'll be able to sit and talk like this for many days to come, Helios.
After we get to the shrine, I'm sure we'll finally have a chance to show ourselves for who we really are.
That sounds great. I won't have to be the vassal anymore, at least around you. That reminds me of the warm feeling I get when I'm around Lulu. I miss those days.
Can't wait for that to happen, my dear sister. Affection, sanity, so many things. God dang it. And we got the Hoikarians. Oh boy. Sorry for the slight cut. There was something I had to take care of because this is going to be a long episode, obviously, with all the talking, but I feel like it's worth it since they said it's going to be the last battle. I really don't know if it is, but if it is, then okay, wow, it's shorter than I thought. At the same time, a longer game than I thought it would be. But then again, you know, Fire Emblem usually has lots of long stories. Fire Emblem style, I should say. Long stories.
Do you have a moment, Commander Sai?
We only spoke a short while ago. Why do you insist on coming to me? I won't go back on my word.
I know there's no way to change your mind. I was just wondering if you could tell me about the state of the castle. How is Lulu doing? And is Livonus always caught up with training? What about Linoblado, always after the ladies?
I've no intention of revealing information to the enemy about the state of our capital and its inhabitants. If you're so interested, let me just tell you this. We spent the last few weeks performing funerals for the people you've killed.
I need to be strong. Don't think about those families, Faratras. Clear your mind. Don't you think you're being a little too cruel, Sai? Didn't the idea of you hurting the vassal's feelings even cross your mind? What if she's no fake?
Even if she were the real vassal, she has still stained herself with the blood of her countrymen. She'll have to answer for her actions. To what extent can we blame a noblewoman guilty of only having fulfilled her duty to the end? For me and Cattleya, there's no doubt about it. Lady Faratras is the one who paid the highest price here.
Captain Menmes... Cattleya...
What a shame. You two were overflowing with potential. One day you'd have even surpassed even me. And yet, here you are, having betrayed your queen and your country to follow the insane ideals of a blood-stained princess. Everyone is free to choose how they breathe their last, Commander. It's what gives value to our lives.
It's like Menmes says, our blades serve what we believe is right, and after fighting Lady Faratras, we wanted to believe in her.
You're one to talk, Cattleya. You, who lost your lover in this conflict.
Stop fighting, please. The soldiers of Hoikade shall not turn their blades on each other. This is the teaching of the Supreme Virgil, one of the legendary heroes. You all haven't forgotten it, have you? The Supreme Virgil would certainly have disapproved.
Ew, that's Menmes. I thought that was... I was wrong. I thought that was Faratras. The Supreme Virgil would certainly have disapproved. An excellent point, vassal. Ha! He may be one of our heroes, but he too has failed to protect our countrymen. The losses suffered in that battle were too great because of an oversight of his, and his heart has been filled with resentment ever since.
You're being too strict again, Commander, and I dare say that the Supreme Virgil is also strict with himself. Perhaps some of his men could have been saved, but in return, how many lives did he take from the yoke of the Demon King with his courage?
The same applies to Lady Faratras in this situation. Wouldn't you say we should learn from history and give her the benefit of the doubt?
To be compared to one of the legendary heroes. You honor me, Captains Menmes and Cattleya. Thank you for your kind words.
An undoubtedly fitting comparison, since both you and him have failed to reach the optimal solution, the one in which no one dies.
You are dishonoring the memory of the Supreme Virgil with these slanders of yours, Commander Sai.
Don't you realize he has been dishonoring himself this whole time? These days he's running around rambling, getting drunk and depressed. After losing his dominant arm in that battle, he's hardly able to wield a sword, and he can't control magic because of his mental state.
That may be true, but it doesn't erase the good deeds he's done. Don't you think it would be like seeing the world in black and white?
Not really. And, I quote Captain Menmus, everyone chooses how they breathe their last. This is my credo.
It's pointless, Lady Faratras. Commander Sai has always been unshakable like this. That has always been his strength, and the reason why I admired him so much. I hope the day comes when we all come back to believing in each other, my dear soldiers. And that's the main reason why I have to do my best and redo the seal as soon as possible.
Commander Sai claims that he does not see these things in black and white,
But the way he's describing it is like it is black and white.
he seems insistent that there are ways to have solved this without anyone dying, and he's very critical about the Supreme Virgil for that, even going so far as to state his negatives at the moment. Sai says he does not see it in black and white. I don't know. But how he approaches it, the topic, contradicts that claim. To a degree, I feel. And I think it's because he's so strong in his will and in his belief that to say otherwise will just have him double down. Which is why it seems like he's taking things as black and white, when I don't think he is, but how he's saying it is very contradictory. Anyway, that was a long episode for obvious reasons. A lot of talking. And I didn't want to cut it in half in the middle because it didn't make sense to just cut the conversation in half and then just call it a day. But whatever. I'm going to call it end here. Maybe do some off-screen purchases and whatnot. But until then, I'm going to take a little break. Later, everyone.